This Mules Baseball video update is brought to you by Warrensburg Collision, the official collision center of UCM Athletics.
Third-ranked Mules Baseball looking to stay alive in the NCAA D2 World Series in Cary, North Carolina on Wednesday afternoon. UCM playing its second elimination game, this one against number 16 Cal Poly Pomona, and this is the first ever meeting between these two teams. The Broncos won their first game of the tournament over Southern Indiana, but then lost to Millersville. The Mules dropped their first game to Lander, but then shut out Franklin Pierce. Let's jump into these highlights. UCM is the visitor. Matt Elliott starts the game off with a walk, but he's eventually stranded on second base. Bottom one, CPP gets started with a hit, then a two-out double brings that runner in from second base. Broncos on the board, 1-0. Two more hits for CPP in the bottom of the second, but those two are left on base when UCM shortstop Jackson Schnurbush chases down a pop fly along the left field line. Schnurbush is then walked to start off the third. Blake Wilfong is hit by a pitch, so the Mules have two on, but then two strikeouts and a groundout leave them stranded. Broncos still up 1-0. It was a quick fourth inning, 3 of 3 down for both teams, including UCM starting pitcher Carlos Diarmas taking the last batter down swinging at a 2-2 pitch. Same thing in the fifth. The inning ends thanks to Elliott here as he makes a great diving grab in left center. In the sixth, CPP gets a runner on, but this inning is over with another good snag in the outfield. Derek Cornell makes this one on the run in left field. And that is definitely not the end of the defensive highlights. Another runner on in the seventh for the Broncos when Dylan Farrell takes his turn ending the inning. This one is a shot to the wall, but Farrell chases it down and right. He bounces off the wall, but keeps a hold of the ball. After 7 innings, Cal Poly Pomona still has a 1-0 lead. You haven't seen a lot of UCM offense yet because there simply wasn't any. In fact, the Mules didn't have a hit until the 8th inning, but with 2 outs, Blake Wilfong gets a double when he sends the ball down the right field line. Elliott is then walked, so 2 runners on, but the half inning ends with a fly ball to center field. Diarmas leaves the mound between innings, and in the bottom of the 8th, UCM ends up using 3 other pitchers because Cal Poly Pomona has taken advantage of 3 more hits, including a single down the line that scores 2 runs for the Broncos. Heading to the 9th, the Mules trail 3-0, and that's how this one ends after 2 strikeouts and a groundout. Central Missouri falls to Cal Poly Pomona 3-0. The Mules are eliminated from the D2 World Series.
Tough game, certainly tough for all the reasons, for the circumstances. But certainly, first and foremost, I appreciate the effort that these 2 and the other 9 on the field in the black uniform gave to us and everybody else. Feel like we had chances in that game and had an opportunity to win that game because of the effort here on the mound by Carlos and the defense. And obviously have to tip your hat to Bayer on the other side. He was tough for us, and we had a lot of trouble. We had a lot of trouble squaring him up. We had a lot of trouble getting on time, and certainly he had something to do with that. It wasn't just the failings of our hitters; it was the stuff that he was throwing. And unfortunately, we just didn't do enough.
Peter Bayer pitched 8 innings for the Broncos, allowing just 1 hit. He walked 3 and collected 14 strikeouts. Diarmas had a good showing for the Mules on a hot and muggy North Carolina afternoon, allowing 5 hits, striking out 4, and walking just 1 in 7 innings.
Carlos did such a phenomenal job, and however dominating the performance that was from Bayer on our hitters, it was 1 swing of the bat away from being a tie game or us being up 1. And so, he did it in one way, Carlos did it in his way, but at the end of the day, we had an opportunity to win that game, no matter how poorly we swung it or how well Bayer threw, and that's all we ask our pitching staff to do any time. And I feel as good with him on the mound as I do with Ty, as I do with Ethan or anybody else, and I felt like he gave us a great chance to win that game.
Almost throughout the whole game, even though we didn't have a hit, our dugout was still pretty upbeat. We always thought we had a shot, and I guess kind of, we thought it was probably in reach then.
Mules Baseball finishes the 2016 season with a 43-15 overall record. UCM was 32-7 in the MIAA, where the Mules won both the regular season and conference tournament titles. That's after being picked to finish 3rd in the preseason coaches poll. UCM also captured the Central Region Championship as the number 2 seed, and that's what sent the Mules to Cary for their 17th NCAA D2 World Series appearance. Reporting in Cary, North Carolina at the USA Baseball National Training Complex, I'm Katie Smith for UCMathletics.com.
This Mules Baseball video update is brought to you by Warrensburg Collision, the official collision center of UCM Athletics.